are, and welcome to There's an App for That. And that's a quick overview of some of the work that we've done on Chromebooks and how we've helped to improve learning using various types of applications, Android, PWAs, the App Hub, as well as app licensing system. And how you can use Idea Sparks just to improve education. But before we start, I will talk a little bit about Chrome OS and our journey thus far and all of the great things that we've all been a part of. We will be happy to take questions. We will take those questions in the last 10 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this brief. I'll spend about 15, maybe 18 minutes on this presentation, and then we'll take questions for about 10 minutes. Unfortunately, we do not have real-time translation. And so for some of our speakers who want translations from English, we do have quite a number of Spanish speakers, French speakers who join us. We will make sure that you have those translations in the recording that we provide after this presentation. I personally appreciate things like that because, like me, you may not be a native English speaker. So our agenda, we'll talk about Chromebooks and Chrome OS. We will spend very little time there, and then we'll talk about apps and extensions, and we'll tell you a little bit about the Chromebook App Hub. Now, Chrome OS is uniquely positioned to help schools learn and teach from anywhere. It's easy to use, it's built for collaboration, and it's secure by design. For our education leaders, our IT admins and teachers, Chromebooks have become the device of choice to enable simple yet powerful instruction and learning in the classroom. With amazing battery life, multiple form factors, and app support, it has become the device of choice for students as well, for learning, for playing, and for creativity. We also like to talk a lot about our accessibility features, which are built into Chromebooks, including screen readers and magnification. We have many accessibility features that are available during your regular use and also during kiosk mode. For example, when you're doing online testing, we're able to provide accessibility tools to help everyone participate in inclusive learning. You can manage your accessibility settings from the Google Admin Console. There are many new devices that have launched from all our Chromebook manufacturer partners. And now with 8 years of automatic updates, Chromebooks keep getting better because we send the latest and greatest updates to you every 6 weeks. Our form factors include tablets, detachables, convertibles, clamshells. We have devices with various configurations of CPU, of memory, of maybe stylus support, touch screen, non-touch screen. And so depending on your particular situation, there is a Chromebook that's optimized for you and can help you to create content, to code, and to run apps in virtualized environments as well as directly on the operating system. Our Chrome Education Update empowers IT admins to create educational environments for teachers and learners to thrive in, with enhanced management, security, and support capabilities. We have device management features that help you choose from hundreds of policies to deploy, to manage, and to track devices, and to access reports on those devices from everywhere on the admin console. That helps us to open the door to hundreds of apps and extensions that help you to support new ways of learning. We have a strong focus on making the right apps available to users where they are. And so you can use web apps, you can use Chrome extensions, as well as Android apps on Chromebooks. And it's important to note that school IT admins can configure and control all aspects of app user experience on Chromebooks. So you can determine what default websites load up when your Chromebooks are started. You can decide which web apps are pinned to your devices. You can choose which Android apps are available to your users. You enable it, and then you choose what is available. And you can also choose apps that get blocked automatically from the devices. So that helps the IT admin and teacher to control all aspects of the user experience on Chromebooks. Now, in 2020, we announced that it will be possible to purchase and manage a collection of apps using our app licensing system within the Google Admin Console. Now you can purchase a collection of 6 creativity apps from our partners, and we plan to add more to that list in the near future. Right now, we have app licensing solutions for Infinite Painter, Squid, Book Creator, Soundtrap, Explain Everything, and WeVideo. And that enables you to be able to manage licenses for these apps right in your admin console. From that single pane of glass, you can manage all of these apps in the same way that you manage your Google Drive or Google Docs for your users today. You can buy OU, you can enable them, you can check who has claimed licenses, how many licenses have been used, and so on and so forth. Now, apps transform how and where users learn. And over the course of the last 1 year, with some of the challenges that were brought by the ongoing pandemic, it has been necessary to, be able to facilitate learning both in school and increasingly at home. And we also understand that with working at home comes that conflict around the accounts and the access and the tools that kids have access to in school. How do we make those available to them at home? And so with Family Link, we are helping parents to set digital ground rules at home. And so with this, you can connect your Family Link account to your school account, which helps parents to be able to have more oversight into what students are learning, and also helps parents at home to set screen time limits, to manage the types of content that can be accessed, and to help create healthy digital ground rules. This also, as a nice side effect, gives parents more comfort with the fact that their kids now have to deal with devices for a longer time than they were used to pre-pandemic. Now, another question we have from teachers is, hey, what are the best and the greatest apps? What are the ideas that other teachers are using to facilitate inclusive learning, to help students learn both at school and at home? Now, the Chromebook App Hub was launched to help teachers to discover rich educational apps and content in one place. It was launched to help teachers to just discover the hundreds of apps that are particularly suited for learning and that have good categorization, good data policies, and that the schools can depend on for their learning needs. The Chromebook App Hub is available to everyone, and we don't only provide information about the apps, but we also work with concepts like Idea Sparks. Idea Sparks are written by teachers who have taken the apps and used specific apps or tools to actually carry out specific activities in the classroom. And so what they've done is they've taken those activities, they've written them up and said, hey, this is how I took my kids on a field trip to, I don't know, planet Jupiter. And these are the apps that I use. This is how I used it. And so it creates a very user-centric experience where you can take an experience and figure out how to replicate that in your classroom and which apps you can use to replicate that experience. And so we feel that by basing the app up on Idea Sparks rather than fixating on the apps themselves, we're looking at fixating on the user experience, on the experience of the teacher and the students, and then we'll map those experiences to multiple apps that the teachers can then choose to use. We feel like it is a much more natural experience for teachers and IT admins to discover great apps, to discover great experiences, and help improve the process of learning. So these are a few things that we have worked on over the course of the last little while. And I hope this has been very useful to you. And we'll look forward to hearing from you, both in terms of your questions and your suggestions about how we can continue to partner with you to make learning better. Thank you, and we'll look forward to answering your questions. And so I'm going to just look at the questions we have. Hi, everyone. Hi, Robbie. You asked if we could put a list of the apps in the chat. One of my colleagues will definitely do that. Thank you very much. And Rebecca, you wanted to know if the family link setup overrides the school's web filters and settings from the admin console. It does not. The school is able to set what kind of content that users are able to access, to work with, and that setting carries over to the home. So that's a quick answer for that. I do also understand that when we start talking about web filters and settings, there might be settings that are specific to the school's own network environment. So you might need to reach out or check our help center for more information about how we get that done. But that's a very, very great question. One of the things that we wanted to ensure was that schools could replicate their experience at home without feeling like they had to then kind of put parents in a situation where they become privy to information they don't need to, or settings that they don't need to make available. So Family Link is not a domain. You can turn things up generally in the admin console. You can turn things up by OU, so you don't have to turn something on and it's available for your entire domain. You can definitely make it available. Now, nice question. What's the difference between an Android app and a Chromebook app? So there are many types of apps. Generally, we differentiate between native apps and web apps, but let me look at this first and foremost. So an Android app typically is any of the apps that you can use on your phone or on your Android phone or tablet. So these are apps that are installed on the operating system that then are able to directly work with the hardware. A Chromebook app, there's really no such thing as a Chromebook app. You're either an Android app or a web app. A web app, the basic web app is a website, right? You have a website that you go to, www.google.com. That's a website, but we can wrap that we can create more advanced features for that web app and make it what we call a progressive web app, which is kind of like a web app that you can install right on your system. But what you've installed on your system is fundamentally a link to the website. So if there's no internet, chances are that you might not have that website, or if the website has features like service workers and so on and so forth, you might be able to access limited capability while it's offline. While an Android app is installed directly on the operating system. Now, we found from our partner ecosystem that sometimes they love the ability to install directly on the operating system for apps that are heavy, for apps that use a lot of multimedia, or apps that just want to use a specific feature of the hardware. Say maybe it needs to use the gyroscope to do things like measurements and physics and stuff like that. So that's kind of a quick, very rough overview on the differences between an Android app and a web app. There's no such thing as a Chromebook app, so to speak. I hope that did not confuse you more. We currently use Clever to manage our apps. Does the App Hub work similarly? Not really. So Clever is an identity solution right? You're using Clever to log in to different apps. The App Hub is a library. Let's put it that way. The App Hub is an information website where we tell you information about apps that we are pre-qualified as being great for education. So you can research those apps, and then you can install them in your system, and you can use the Google admin console to either manage the login to them directly. You can use our app licensing solution, and of course you can use Clever to log in. So think about the Chromebook App Hub as a library of pre-curated apps. So if you have only 30 minutes to do research and you were asked to research the entire Play Store with millions of apps, you might not know where to start. But the Chromebook App Hub has already done a lot of the research for you, and it can then help you with some of the items there. Is there an app for Photoshop that can work with Chrome OS? We actually do have some great collaborations with Adobe. I think Adobe Spark is used for a lot of creation, and I know that the Creative Suite is getting more and more available on Chrome through as a web app as well. We would have to get back to you on whether Photoshop itself, but I think the Creative Suite is already there. Let's see. Can you add an email that has already been created in the family link for a minor's email? Like you already have an email, it's created, it's on our profile as an adult's email, and now you want to add it to family link. I would say no, because identity is very central to what we do. The only way you'd have created that email as a standard Gmail is by declaring that the student was over 13. So it's kind of, for us, it then becomes problematic to redefine that person as being under 13 without some documentation or some legal compliance issues. So often, unfortunately, if you have defined a kid as an adult, you might have to create a brand new email for that kid in Family Link. So I'm scrolling through. Is there any documentation that shows the comparison of features between web versions and Android versions of various apps? Yes, but that would be in the purview of the app provider. So we wouldn't say, hey, this is the difference. We would say this app is available both on web and Android, and we'll provide a link to the app provider's website where you can see the difference. So for example, Google Classroom, which is our product, we do provide documentation on the differences between the web and the Android version. And our broad objective for Google Classroom is to have what we call feature parity. We want to ensure that the features are the same regardless of whether it's web or Android. Let's see. Is it true that if you whitelist an add-on, it is available for the entire domain, not just one OU? We'll have to get back to you on that, because specifically for an add-on. So for Android apps, web apps, Chrome extensions, everything that you add in the devices section of the Google admin console, it is by OU. You can literally decide that it's going to be by for a particular OU. And we also have released the ability to make it available for groups. So sometimes you want a group, maybe a group of photography students who are in different OUs. You want to enable Adobe Photoshop for just the photography students, and those photography students are in grade 8, 9, and 10, and so you can't like pull them into one OU. We have made available the functionality to put them in a group and enable the app for them within that group. But we need to get back to you on add-ons. I think what we define as add-ons might be what we need to look at. If what you're calling an add-on is something that you get on the Chrome Web Store, then definitely it can be done by OU and by group. If what you mean by add-on is some SAML and I'm going unnecessarily complex. I wouldn't. We'll get back to you on that. I think if what you talk about as an add-on is some app you got from the G Suite marketplace, and then you switched it to on for your entire domain, that might be another discussion. So I think we just need to unpack what add-on is referring to in this particular situation. But if it's something you get from the Chrome Web Store, if it's an Android app, if it's a website from anywhere, then you can do it by OU and by group, not for the entire domain. Okay, add-ons are from the marketplace. I think that in that case, you're enabling it for your domains. But we'll dig into that. If that answer is not exactly the thing, we'll get back to you. So I'm looking up. I hope I didn't miss anyone's questions. Yeah, hi from Brazil, from Austin, Texas, from Romania. You're up late. We've got someone from Chile, from Catalonia, from Norwich, UK. Awesome. I lived in UK for 2 years, I think. Awesome. Hello from Sweden. Now you're taking me back. I did spend a great summer in Stockholm and Gothenburg some years ago. Really awesome. And good afternoon from Mexico City. Good afternoon to you. And so we are running out of questions. I don't know if it's meant that I was pretty awesome or not. Oh, I think, do we have New York? Good afternoon, New York. So I'm just monitoring the questions just to make sure that we're covering them as much as possible. Let's see. Yeah, I think we've answered every question that I do see here. Given that we have, I guess, 1-2 seconds, I would just, because we got a lot of questions on apps, I would just go back quickly and talk about enabling apps. So it's very important. We released a series of videos, and I know this is something that we'll need to post there. We released a series of videos about how you can do various things on the admin console. Each of those videos is less than 3 minutes long. They're on YouTube. They are available for free, and they help you to do so many quick things that an IT admin can do. From enabling apps, from enabling users, from updating user profiles, from setting security policies. Those videos are particularly useful. I've put the link in there, and we will put the link as well in the comments. And one thing that I want to reiterate again is that as far as apps management on the Chromebook is concerned, everything that we focus on, or one of the key things that we focus on, is giving schools control over what their users can see. So we've gotten questions about, hey, Android apps are available on Chromebooks. Does that mean that my kids are exposed to the entire Play Store? I would be horrified if that was the case, because we do have to check what kids can see and use just to manage their time. And so, again, the Play Store, we've actually made it so that the IT admin has to enable it in about 2 or 3 spaces to get one app to work for their users, just to make sure that as much as possible, the IT admins are the gatekeepers of what apps that their users can see. And so if all you need to use in your school is one app, I've had schools reach out to me and say, hey, we just want to use Minecraft for education on our Chromebooks. Do we then have to enable the entire Play Store? The answer is no. You can enable the one app. You can enable, Explain Everything, or WeVideo, or Squid, or whatever other app that you want, or your school's Android app, your school's own app. You can enable just that, and that's all that the users are going to see. The caveat that we say is, look, if you don't need any Android app, then don't enable it for the sake of enabling it. Because the fact that you've enabled that that infrastructure means that we're going to download the base platform for it onto your device. And of course, that uses space, that uses a little bit of memory. And if you're using like low-powered devices, you want to be as careful as possible about what you make available. But all of those controls are in your hands. So I don't know if that helps from a broader perspective, just talking about apps. And then going back quickly to the App Hub. Like I said, the App Hub is a library. It's a place where you can say, hey, I have 1 hour. I don't have the time to go through the entire internet, looking for an app that can do X, Y, Z. You can come in there and say, hey, I want to teach math. I want to teach grade 4 math, and I'm interested in teaching. Now my kid is in grade 4, so I have a little bit of information, hopefully, about what they're learning in math. And so I'm trying to teach geometry, introductory geometry. I can go in there, look for a category, look for an age range, and I can see different ideas that teachers have taught. And depending on the ideas, if I see an idea that's interesting, this teacher has taught introductory geometry. What did they do? What were their idea sparks that they used? I had the class do this, and that. And these were the apps that they used. And then right in there, we're telling them, okay, this app, this is the data policy for the app. This is the privacy policy. These are the languages in which this app is available. I remember going to a school in Chicago, and we were working with Explain Everything, and we got a question about making it available for a Polish class, because there was a class that was learning Polish right in Chicago. Luckily for us, we were able to link Explain Everything, which actually does a lot of its development in Poland, with this school, and that really helped them. So we're able to say, okay, this app supports this language, supports Spanish, or so. So before you start doing a lot of research into different things, the App Hub helps you to just have at least have a good head start, and that's what it aims to achieve. The link from YouTube is not working. Could you share it? I will definitely do so. I will go back just a moment. I think it's a super important area. So if you don't mind, I will pop that out. I will find the link and I will post it to you.
In this.
So sorry that I had to get out of character. Let me see. So we will post that link to you presently. And I will update it as well, just to make sure that it's as clear as possible. And you could look for.
Let's get started. Once you've logged into Google Admin Console, you'll see a home screen with many different options, including a dashboard to see insights about your organization, a place to create and organize organizational units, or groups of users and security. Let's click on Devices to see all of the devices we have under management.
And so that's a quick preview of what that link is about. It's been posted in the chat, so I hope that's very useful for you. And yeah, welcome, Ayla from India. Thank you so much for joining us. That's awesome. From India. It should be about, I don't know, 12 midnight or something in India. That's some serious commitment. Thank you very much for that. And at this point, I'll be wrapping up. I hope this has been useful. Feel free, we will keep the chat open for another 5-10 minutes. So feel free, we'll be monitoring the chat. We will send some more resources to you. And thank you for making the time to join us. I can see from the time zones that this has not been an easy ask by any means. People, joining us from Sweden, from India, from Chile, from Mexico, from Brazil, from all over the United States and Canada. And so thank you very much. And have a great day. And take care.